I'm a disabled trans man. I'm also a person who uses food stamps. I am also a person who has gone through substance use and addiction. And most of all, I am a patient of Planned Parenthood.
So this person basically just listed everything possible in order to claim that he is somehow a victim. We get it. Go and compete in the Victim Olympics.
I enjoy being a full-time baby. I'm a baby here and I'm a baby at home. I've been working 24/7 for about like 2.5, almost 3 years. I usually buy maybe like 80 to 120 a month, I guess. And I try to have a stockpile of at least 200 to 300 or so at home. 2 years ago, like case of 80 diapers was maybe like, I think it was like $260. Now it's like I'm definitely paying over like $300 a month.
I'd really like to see what the ABCD community say to this, because if it's a case that you can just claim that you're a man and it has nothing to do with biology and it's a social construct, what would be the issue here as well? He claims he's a baby. We can just say that being a baby is a social construct and age is just a social construct. I would like to see their response to this, because it's their stupid ideology that leads to this type of behavior.
Looking at this, how many people is that stat based on? Like, how many transgender shooters is that stat based on? Because you cited it, I mean, you didn't cite your source, so I had to go digging for it, so I was curious if you knew.
This is a graph from when?
About 7 months ago, it came up, it was going around on Twitter.
Do I have all the details of a graph that I posted 7 months ago in my head right now?
No, well, ballpark, just approximate.
I guess you have the answer, so go ahead and tell us.
I do. It's one person. So you cited a per million statistic based on one person as evidence that there's some sort of epidemic of transgender violence going around this country.
But there have obviously been multiple transgender shooters just in the last couple of years.
I'm not denying any sort of specific individual instance. I'm talking about this is a statistic in which you compared these numbers for all of these other populations are significantly lower than they would be with actual statistics. I was just curious, like, I want to understand, like, your process here. Why you wouldn't cite that source? Like, is it just because you know it's embarrassing that you only cited it off of, or based it off of one person? Or, like, more to the point, like, why do you have to lie to make your point? You know, why do you have to, if there's this epidemic going around, why do you have to make shit up in order to make the argument?
Well, first of all, I think as someone who believes that women have penises, you're not one to lecture people for lying.
So again,
so that's
your definitions.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Again.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
For the record, I was the last year of millennials. So what you're asking is, why didn't I flaunt child labor laws and act like some manly grug and go out and do physical labor as a child? Think about that for a second.
Oh, it's child labor to work for money. Oh, mowing the lawn is child labor. But you will spend your time, the time you could have spent mowing a lawn, complaining online on TikTok because nobody is giving you free money. But yeah, mowing the lawn is child labor. Before we get back into the video, make sure you guys like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also mainly hit the notification bell so that you're notified when a video comes out. Also go and subscribe to my new Facebook channel. It'll be linked down in the description below, so go and subscribe there. But let us get back into the crazy.
Everyone was saying to shop at Burlington, shop at Old Navy, but the stuff at my stores aren't what they look like at your stores. I'm gonna look like a granny with this coat. Like, be for real, what is all of this? I'm 22 years old. Like, this is the only decent shirt that I feel like I would wear, but it's not even that cute. Like, this is like all senora vibes. There's stuff that is cute, but like not for me. Oh wait, this is not bad. Don't get me started on these dresses either. Like, what do you mean? I can't find nothing cute. Like, girl, I don't know. Ooh, like, this is why it's so hard for like plus size young moms to find anything cute.
Plus sized, they say. I call it Michelin Man sized.
This is the capital of the United States.
Washington, D.C.
No, it's not Washington, D.C. It's Washington.
No, it's not.
Isn't it just Washington?
It's Washington, D.C.
It's just called Washington.
That's a state. It's Washington, D.C.
What is the capital of the United States?
You know what?
The capital of the United States? Madison.
So what's your name?
Shamar,
Okay. Where are you from?
Azerbaijan.
Okay. And you want to be famous.
Yeah.
What is the capital of the United States?
Washington, D.C.
Very good, very good. Some Americans don't know that. What year did America gain its independence?
I don't know.
Don't know?
I have no idea.
1863.
Do you have a better guess?
Abby? I don't.
17 something. Okay. You're on the right.
1774. 1757.
What year did America gain its independence?
1767.
You're very close.
1762.
What year did America gain its independence?
1974. Wait. Never mind, that's my dad's birthday.
What year did America gain its independence?
Oh, come on. It's not 1942, because that would be Christopher Columbus. So.
That's not Christopher Columbus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 14. I'm gonna pass. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
What's your major?
I'm in flight school to be a pilot.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your major?
I'm going into teaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're okay. I mean, it's not really fair, is it?
Nah.
Who did America gain its independence from?
Christopher Columbus.
What?
That's my final answer.
Do you have a different one?
What? Can you repeat the question?
Who did America gain its independence from?
Everybody else.
What do you think about high schoolers that don't know that? College students that don't know that?
It's sad. Sad. They need to just take more courses.
Yeah.
They have courses, but instead of picking volleyball or bowling, they should pick history and social studies.
When is the next presidential election?
2024.
2028.
Huh?
2028. Wait, no.
No, it's 2024.
When is the next presidential election?
3 years?
Wait, no.
No, 2 years.
I've come to understand that most people are unfortunately stupid. It's kind of a sad thing to see, but yeah, a lot of people just don't understand or know basic things like this. They can live in the native land and they wouldn't know the answer to these questions, and it's really sad, but to me it's funny to look at. But then when you think about it deep, it actually is pretty sad.
Hey, sick fucks. Abortion is still healthcare whether you fucking like it or not. I know I'm coming off strong. Am I gonna apologize? No. Because a 70-year-old man should not be telling a 10-year-old little girl what she can and cannot do with her own body, especially if she had been violated. So if you think that that type of behavior is okay, you need to seek therapy and a different fucking personality. Also, keep your disgusting fucking opinions off of social media, because honestly, it makes you look pretty bad. Especially to the trauma survivors such as me. Yeah. You still think a man should tell me what the fuck I should do with my body? Let me tell you a little story. I've had 3 abortions in the past 2 fucking years. Did I want to get any of them? No. Nope. It was my ex-husband's decision to get all of those 3 abortions. Did he sit in the fucking waiting room with me? No. I had to go through that alone. So as a trauma survivor, and knowing what it feels like to have to go through that shit alone because you sick fucks are so judgmental and quick to fucking rip people down just because of what a woman decides to do with her body. Not yours, hers. Make it make sense. Seek therapy and a different fucking personality while you're at it. Thanks.
You emphasizing your words and swearing and cursing and being angry at the camera is not going to change the fact that you're an idiot. It's not going to change biology and what we understand. It's not going to change the fact that you don't like to take accountability for your actions. It's not going to change the fact that we understand that you can't close your legs to the same men that you call so evil and the evil patriarchy. They're so evil that you can't close your legs to these evil men. You'll still open it, and then when you open it to them, you'll complain about the consequences of opening your legs to them and then having a baby, and you'll say that abortion is healthcare. You guys are sacrificing your children because of the fact that you don't want to take accountability for your actions. Make it make sense.
Why are liberals always like this?
Do you support mass deportations?
Not at all. Absolutely not.
Why do you not support mass deportations? If someone comes in the country illegally, what should happen to them?
If they come into the country illegally, I think they should be protected, of course.
Illegally, if they come in illegally.
Yes.
Protect them if they break the law?
Protect them if they break. Yes, if they're humans that are leaving a country that they're in danger of. If they're in danger and they need to leave their country because they need to be protected, of course they should be protected here. What do you mean? Of course.
Do you think the world should have no borders?
Yes.
What? Of course she doesn't. But when her child grows up, the one that's beside her, when she grows up and suffers the consequences of the actions of her stupid parent, then all of a sudden, you know, actually, they still wouldn't understand what they did. She still wouldn't understand that she's part of the problem and will be part of the issue. She'll just continue to complain about how men are assaulting her and how men are so evil. Yes, she allows these same men who do not even agree with her whole ideology. The same men in their countries who have multiple wives, and the same men in their countries who will throw people off of buildings based on their sexual orientation, the sexual orientation which I'm sure she agrees with, the sexual orientation I'm sure she will be parading down the streets on certain months. But yeah, we should allow all of these people in and nothing's gonna happen to us.
Excuse me, miss, that's not your property. No, that's criminal mischief. Please set the sign back up, miss.
Okay, I'll do it if you say to do it, but I don't know who he is, and he has no authority over
It's
me.
my sign. Set it back up.
I'm sorry, is that your... Can he post random posters on campus? That's pretty easy. But can you stop looking at me? Okay, well, sometimes we do illegal things.
I'm not harassing you. You're harassing us, miss.
I'm a minor. I can't video me.
You're a minor? Okay, that doesn't matter. You're in a public space. I am not attracted to you in the least. You're touching our property.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
How much do you love Donald Trump?
I have my opinions on him. I don't.
Yeah, I got very strong opinions.
Same scale, 0 to 10.
I would say, like, me personally, like, negative numbers.
Maybe like a yeah. Same page.
Yeah. Why so?
Just a lot of the things that have been going on recently. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. There's a lot of stuff that he's doing that I don't really agree with, per se.
Okay.
And I think it affects a lot of people that should not be affected.
In the last year, do you think your lives have improved, stayed the same, or gotten worse since his presidency?
I'd say stayed the same.
Same?
Yeah.
Yeah, stayed the same. Yeah.
Can't be that bad then, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, give me specifics. Why don't you like him so much? What are specific policies that he's implemented or championed? Give me something specific.
I'm not too much of a politician. I just like
You said you hate him. It's a negative.
It's not like on a political scale. I just have my personal opinions. Like it's not like I'm on the same boat as everybody else. I don't like pay attention too much to it, but
Okay, phone a friend.
I don't know. I don't really agree with the way that he sees like certain groups of people.
Okay, down. That's what I'm talking about. What groups of people?
Mostly like trans people or like, you know.
How does he see trans people?
I feel like he sees them as like they aren't human.
What's your proof that he doesn't see them as humans?
Just certain things, especially the things that he said about them being in sports and how
I don't know, I just feel like the way he sees them, it's like he doesn't think that they're as capable as other people to do the same thing that everyone else does.
How is it fair to force a group of women on a sports team to be in the same locker room as a man? How is that fair? Can you justify that, or
I mean,
advocate for that?
I could see why people would think it's like uncomfortable and stuff. I don't know.
Why would a group of women athletes be uncomfortable with a man being in their locker room?
Maybe because like there's a lot of differences between them.
Yeah, like that man has a penis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
They are idiots.
We're also keeping track of participants today, like how many people participated.
Hey.
Oh, it sounds like Kelly Sharp City.
Whoa.
Fuck yourselves.
And you fucking neck gushers too.
And you fucking neck gushers too. Oh my god, you'll get me started.
Have the day you deserve.
I saved some balloons.
When are people going to start defending themselves? When are you going to start defending your property? And when are you going to stop allowing these people to do this? The more you keep allowing them to do this, the more they're going to continue to do this. The more you start defending themselves, they're going to start having second thoughts as to going up to people's tables and starting to destroy their property.
They're trying to put a chill on journalism. Now, listen, full transparency, you guys work here, you work at ABC, you know the pressure that journalists and hosts and people who are on television or in the broadcast medium, you know the pressure that we are under. And I include independent media in that. Some things you cannot say, everything is vetted. The administration, they're afraid that they're going to be sued by the administration or, you know, and then look at what happened to me. Journalists are now afraid that they're going to be arrested for doing their job.
Well, Don, if a journalist, news outlets, or people on television lie or defame someone, in this case the president, he can and has the right to sue them. That's not putting a chill on journalism. That's defending yourself when people lie about you. For example, ABC News, the network behind this beauty of a show, had to settle a case with Trump and pay him $16 million for deliberately lying about him. That's why this show has to issue legal disclaimers every time the hosts lie about the president or any other high profile. It's their way of telling their audience that everything we just told you is a lie. And you know how all of this works. I wish you were honest about it. And so the antidote to the pressure that you mentioned you're under is simple. Don't lie.
Yeah, he made a lot of sense there.
Pardon me? Pro-child. I don't frame this as anti-trans because I don't believe there's such a thing as a transgender child. They're called girls and boys, and they're beautiful just as they are. They don't need drugs and scalpels to be their true selves. But society is pushing this false notion that just because they don't conform to stereotypes, that makes them transgender. It's kind of absurd.
Actually, I have a transgender niece. It wasn't about that at all. It was about how he felt as a human being, and he felt he was female.
Well, being female isn't a feeling.
Well,
it's an appreciation of who they are on the inside.
his gender or sexuality, I'm going to use the word felt, was female. And
well, so what does that mean, though? What does female mean?
Well, being a woman. He wanted to be a woman.
But that's not something you get to choose.
Actually,
because there's such a thing as biological reality in this world.
Biological reality is not black and white. There's a lot of gray.
Sure it is.
So there's not just male and female based on genitalia. There is a lot of gray in the middle. There's people born with both.
Yeah.
So
was he born male?
He was born male.
So his body is designed to produce sperm, not eggs, right?
Yes, it is.
So
Well, it
therefore
was.
he's male. Well, it still is.
I guess
He
biologically
doesn't get to have a uterus
he was
and ovaries.
Biologically, he was born male, but after you take the proper medications, it changes who you are.
Do you know what these medications do?
Yes.
What do they do?
They change the body. They're hormones that change the body's structure. So if a male takes a testosterone blocker and more estrogen, he becomes more female in structure.
Well, his gonadal structure doesn't change. It doesn't become more female.
Absolutely.
And that's what
does.
determines our
It
sex.
grows breasts and...
He doesn't grow ovaries and a uterus and fallopian tubes.
Oh, that's right. You either make the egg or you feed
His
the
chromosomes don't change.
Yeah, that sounds very...
He's still a man.
That sounds very sexist.
Well, I just don't understand what it is that makes him a woman. Can't explain it. Bye-bye. That was fun. Not.
What is so difficult to understand about basic biology? How have we become more advanced technologically? We have more information, we have more access to information, and it seems as if people have become more stupid. We have all the information in the world basically at your fingertips. You can get this information at the snap of a finger, and these people have somehow regressed.
When the budget was released, I was shocked to find out that Prime Minister Carney is cutting $7 billion between Indigenous Services Canada and Crown Indigenous Relations. They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent. This is callous.
No, what's abhorrent is that long-ass acronym she just rattled off. Guys, this is a legitimate member of the government in Canada. The wokeness does not stop. If we let... This is where things will end up in our country if we let that happen. This is unbelievable, bro. What is... Okay. All right. It's hard to take these individuals serious. She's telling you there is a genocide of an acronym that's longer than my first and last name. So this woman is mad that no money was allocated to deal with the genocide against missing, murdered Indigenous women and girls, two-spirit individuals, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, and asexual. And the plus or minus is an umbrella for any other identities not explicitly listed. So she's telling you there's genocide of all these people, and there's no money going to dealing with that genocide. These people do not live in reality. And Democrats and liberals vote these lunatics into government. And if enough of these lunatics get into government, they are going to make my life worse, your life worse, our country as a whole. They are going to make it worse. If we don't stop these people, they will end up in power. And this is where the left is running to. It is extremely important that we continue to fight back against this. Because this is one of the last things I want to see is a delusional person in our government listing off acronyms the size of a country and saying that there's a genocide against all these people when there is no genocide. And these people are delusional. They do not live in reality, and they're virtue signaling and patting themselves on the back because they're fighting for a cause that in reality does not exist. Again, like I said, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, they're pretty much this insane. They're pretty much this crazy, and yeah, it's not South Park.
She supported trans people until this.